What's going on, everyone? On today's episode, we do my NFL Super Wildcard Weekend predictions. I'm Steven Connor, and you're tuning into the Steven Connor Show. Everybody, how's everyone out there doing? Welcome back or welcome to the Steven Connor Show. I'm your host, Steven Connor. Before we get started, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also hit that post notification bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a video. I just want to note the thing that you see right here is my computer where I'm looking at the games with. But without further ado, let's get into these predictions. So first things first is we have the Chargers versus the Houston Texans at 4:30 for Super Wildcard Weekend. Do they still call it Super Wildcard Weekend? I'm going to call it Super Wildcard Weekend. But we have the Chargers versus the Texans. The Chargers, what a year for them. First year for Harbaugh. They have had an amazing season this year. Their head coach was really holding them back. I'm glad they finally got the right head coach. That defense is elite. Herbert looks good. Dobbins is having a resurgence of a little resurgence. He's looking good. I think overall the Chargers is a better team than Houston because unfortunately for Houston, they won the AFC South again, back-to-back champs. But CJ Stroud didn't look the best at this year, and I believe that's because he has no weapons. If you don't know, they have had their wide receiver room has really taken a hit this year. And with all that being said, I think that they're too injured, and I think the Chargers are the better coach team and the better team. So with that being said, I'm going to take the Chargers over the Texans. The Texans have a bright future ahead. That defense is promising. CJ Stroud is promising. That offense is promising. They just need to get healthy first. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers choked at the end of this season. There's no other way to put it, like they do every season. It's three things: death, taxes, and the Steelers going 10-7. Mike Tomlin, I don't know, but I don't know what happened, but that offense is so bad it made the Bengals defense look elite. That's how bad it is. However, Baltimore, on the other hand, is looking good. They didn't look the best against the Browns. Still got to win. I think they will win. This Ravens team this year is different. Lamar should be the MVP, but Josh Allen's going to win. But Lamar is amazing this year. They have Derrick Henry. They are going to be missing Zay Flowers, but at the end of the day, I don't think it will be a big factor in this game with Pittsburgh. Like I said, towards the end of the year, Pittsburgh always self-destructs. The last time, though, the only way I can see Pittsburgh winning is earlier this year when they played. Pittsburgh won because they were able to stop the run game and they made Lamar look goofy. Then the last time they played, they weren't able to stop the run game, and Lamar played really good. I do think Lamar is going to play how he played the second time around, but if they're able to stop Lamar and Derrick Henry, they have a chance of winning. But I'm going with the Ravens because the Steelers' offense is just awful. Next up, we have an interesting matchup, which is the Denver Broncos versus the Buffalo Bills. I want to shout out Denver. I want to shout out Sean Payton and Bo Nix for having one hell of a season. I did not expect them to make the playoffs, but they did. Unfortunately for them, they're playing Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I think this Broncos offense still needs a lot of work, but they're solid. Their defense is their bread and butter. However, are their defense going to be able to stop Josh Allen? Will they be able to slow him down? That's the real question. And I think the answer is no. I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos keep it close. Don't be surprised if they keep it close. But I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen's the MVP. That offense looks good. Their defense is good. So I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Green Bay Packers are a part of the best division in football. They had a good year this year, even when Jordan Love got hurt. He did get hurt this weekend, but he will play. Fortunately for them, Christian Watkins, I think that's his name, if I messed it up. But Christian, he got injured, unfortunately for the Packers. And I think that will be a big injury that's missed. They did play week one, the Eagles and Packers. However, the Eagles is just dominant. Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, that defense. I'm going with the Eagles. I really do think the Eagles will get the job done. But don't be shocked if the Packers sneak in the win because Josh Jacobs has been phenomenal, and the Eagles are looking like one of the best teams in football. We weren't saying that this time last year. Next up, we have the Washington Commanders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers back-to-back divisional champs. Shout out to them. Baker Mayfield is one hell of a quarterback. I think they'll beat the Commanders, and I want to give the Commanders all the props in the world for getting here. This is the only game, one of the games I'm very uncertain of who's going to win, but I think the Buccaneers because they have more playoff experience. However, Jaden Daniels, Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, has had an amazing season with the Washington Commanders. So shout them out, but I think it's going to go to Baker and the Buccaneers. Last but not least, we have the Vikings versus Rams, a rematch from earlier this year. The Vikings looked absolutely horrible against the Detroit Lions. They could not score in the red zone. And the last time that they lost to the Rams, it came after they lost to the Detroit Lions. So deja vu. Is this a coincidence? But I do not think Sam Darnold is going to have the same type of game he had against the Lions. I think he will have a much better game. And I think that the Vikings are not going to play the same as a whole as they did against the Lions. I think they will step up. However, the Rams is a very inconsistent team. Just like the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers this year, 1 minute they're beating one of the best teams in the NFL, and then they're struggling against one of the worst teams in the NFL. The Rams are just as inconsistent as the Buccaneers were this year. And the Rams are one of those teams that said, hey, F defense, we'll just outscore you. Because, like, they did so good against Buffalo. Put up 42 against Buffalo and then put up 12 and struggled against San Francisco. It just blows my mind how inconsistent this Rams team is. This Rams team is capable of going far. They beat the Vikings already this season. They can do it. But which Rams team will show up? I just think that the Vikings are more consistent and a better team. But any team that says F defense and say we'll just run up the score on you is a dangerous team. But I'm still going with the Vikings. So that's my predictions. You let me know who you have winning down below, making it out of all these matchups. And you let me know who you think is going to the Super Bowl. Until next time, y'all, Steven Conner out.